Drake, famous singer, is in family court today with his ex-wife, I guess. Don't really know her name. Oh, hello. Oh my God, Drake. How are you? Oh, that's hilarious. He just walked by.
Welcome to a much more refined, poised, and pleasant podcast.
Pleasant? I don't know about that.
I know.
I study
Family court
for a living.
Lobbies and Gentlegrams, the bolstering BBL buffoon has managed to take his mania to the moon. Thriving as a theater kid, the Taylor Swift twin teamed up 2 times with Bobbi Althoff before ever giving the henny-hogging hamburglar of hip-hop, DJ Big Macus Akademiks, an interview.
So far glowing magnets. Add to cart. Is there a limit, like 1 per person? We got to get a Drake body pillow now. Pause. How many of these can we get? 30? Oh, wow.
I know it's been a lot of lobby talk lately, but when the Canadian clown acts crazy, we dissect it on the daily. So drop a like and subscribe, and let's see what foolishness the phony Montana is doing to keep his name alive.
Yo, shout out to all the 12-year-olds in the building. What's up? It's mad 12-year-olds in this.
Now, Lobbies and Gentlegrams, we got some interesting updates over here, alright? Because I'm sure you've been hearing the OV hoes talking about Drake asking UMG for any allegations they've heard about Kendrick allegedly abusing anyone within his lawsuit. Yes, Drake is really suing his record label and saying, I know I also defamed Kendrick in Family Matters, but to prove to the world I really thought those allegations were true about the abuse, about Dave Free being the father. I want to see any communication that you've had within your label pertaining to these rumors to show that it wasn't just a random thing I invented. And even better for Lobby, he thinks he's going to win the rap battle a year and a half later if somehow, on the 0.001% chance, UMG actually does have internal documents proving that those allegations on Family Matters were true.
I study rap battles for a living.
He's trying to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. Anyways, I say all that to say, right? Both Kendrick and Drake threw some crazy allegations at each other, right? Drake with the whole abuse thing, the whole Dave Free being the father thing, and then Kendrick with the PDF stuff, and of course, the fake daughter. Something that I've personally never really touched on because unlike the OV hosts who are so thirsty and desperate to try to find any lick of proof that Kendrick actually assaulted his partner, and you know they don't actually care about the morality of that. They just care because if that came out to be true, then they think that it would somehow mean Drake won a rap battle he lost a year and a half ago already. But anyways, unlike them, I never really cared to go down the rabbit hole of trying to discover, who's part of Drake's family, who's not, who's his child, etc. Like, we're here to talk music, we're here to talk some foolishness on occasion. We're mainly here to break down bars, but when we're presented with information that is too hard to ignore, then as Pusha T would say, so be it, alright? I'm not out here hunting to try and find Drake's daughter, but we may have just gotten an update that, at the very least, is very suspicious regarding his entire family situation.
I gotta ask, what do you think about Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, getting Record of the Year?
I don't care nothing about that.
No,
that ain't got nothing to do with me. All the best to him, man.
Okay, cool.
I don't do that bullshit.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
So, do you guys remember back in March 30th, 2025 to be exact, we got the Drake Nokia music video, and this was like a huge deal for Drake. He's like, it's one of the most important videos I've ever made. I shot it in IMAX. He premiered it at a movie theater. The whole video was copying the look of Kendrick's Not Like Us video. And while we're on that topic, a lot of Drake's moves since the battle have kind of been coinciding with important dates for Kendrick. Like when Kendrick did the Super Bowl, a week later we get the Sexy Sleepy Song album by Drake. Kendrick drops GNX. That same week is when we got the initial copy of the lawsuit against UMG.
I study
lawsuit
for a living.
March 30th, we get the Nokia music video. Everyone's talking about how he's copying Not Like Us, but at the same time, what many didn't realize is that a courtroom sketch artist had posted a video of Drake walking into family court about 3 days before the Nokia video dropped. Now, it's hilarious because this guy, what a courtroom sketch artist does, I'm sure you've seen the Diddy sketches, right? Like when video or cameras or pictures are prohibited in the courtroom, you need a way to document the case, right? Document the history, have historical evidence. So a guy comes in to kind of sketch exactly what's going on. This guy, David Louis Wall, he's a courtroom sketcher. So his job is just to sketch out whatever court case is going on that day. But Drake, on March 27th, 2025, had an appearance. This is a family court, remember. And this courtroom sketcher is just casually documenting his day on Instagram, and he's all mad because he's like, oh, this famous person is coming into the courtroom, so the court's closed and I can't come in and do my job. And as he's recording this casual video, not even knowing who Drake actually is, Drake walks right by him, entering the building.
Hello everybody, I'm at court today, March 27th, 2025. Drake, famous singer, is in family court today with his ex-wife, I guess. Don't really know her name. In courtroom 103, family court. They've banned the public from the courtroom. No public can watch this. Divorce? I guess. I'm not sure, because I'm not allowed in the courtroom. This is not a good day. And I believe it's unconstitutional to not allow the public in the courtroom just because they're famous. Oh, hello. Oh my God, Drake. How are you? Oh, that's hilarious. He just walked by.
Now you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Drake is in family court, but what does that have to do with the whole fake daughter thing? Well, you can go to family court for several types of issues: divorce, custody battles, child support disputes, visitation rights, paternity claims, spousal support, adoption, protection orders. David, the courtroom sketcher, he wasn't necessarily going into the court to do his job that day, but he is arguing that it's unconstitutional and ridiculous to completely close off the courtrooms for the public. Why would Drake want the entire courtroom closed off when it's not like, his child is right there next to him and he's doing it for protective issues, or at least the child we know of, right? Adonis. He's just there by himself with his bodyguard. Oh, hey, never mind. I got this story a little confused. So this dude actually was on the job when Drake had his family court hearing, but he couldn't go into the actual courtroom and overhear whatever the judge was talking to Drake about, right? So whatever is going on behind those doors is a secret, but he was able to actually make sketches of Drake with this mysterious woman sitting in the lobby of the courtroom, and this is on his second appearance at the court. The first one was March 27th, 2025. The second one was April 2nd, 2025.
Hello everyone. Today is April 2nd, 2025. David Louis Wall here, in and out. That's what I'm calling this series, I guess, of my court art experience. Anyways, today I did the Drake trial again. He showed up, family court again. Here's his bodyguard in the hall. Still won't let me in the room. That's one of the reporters. And I'm going to show you. This was his girlfriend. She was sitting in the hall. And a police officer. Didn't quite get him. But anyways, yeah. They did put a sign on the door this time that said closed to the public. That was sad. I'd rather be sitting in the courtroom than sitting in the hall, seeing justice, making sure that everything is up and up. And that's about it. Thank you very much. There's a quick shot of the Superior Court and City Hall on this snowy day. There's the Superior Court. He was in family court in there. And so, anyways, take care, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think I'll be in traffic court. Okay, down on Front Street. Bye.
So as you can see, right, Drake was in family court for 2 separate occasions in late March, early April. What I also find interesting is that, remember, back in like February and March, he was on his Anita Max Win Tour in Australia and New Zealand. It ended up becoming the Anita Max Lost Tour because he ended up canceling a bunch of different dates from March 4th until March 16th, claiming the cancellations were due to scheduling conflicts. We now know that 10 days after the last show that was canceled, Drake was in family court, and the guy whose job it is to be in the courtroom documenting the case was not allowed in, along with anyone else. No one was allowed to report on whatever was going on when Drake was in family court. No one was allowed to sketch it. No one was allowed to physically be in the courtroom watching whatever was going down. And you could see in the guy's clip,
His girlfriend, she was sitting in the hall, and a police officer didn't quite get him.
his sketches of the woman, that doesn't look like the mother of Drake's son, Adonis, right? I mean, look at them back to back. Now, what's also interesting is this courtroom sketch artist went back to the court on March 31st and published a video to his YouTube page where he says he sent in a letter to the court describing how he was unjustly treated when trying to enter on the date that Drake was making an appearance. And he asked inside the court if the courtroom where Drake was having his hearing was shut off to the public, and they confirmed that yes, it was.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Well, it's 10:45, and I did try to find out whether or not Drake's case is open or closed to the public. And basically, a woman named Theodora in the family court office said she spoke to the judge, Justice Diamond, and he said that 1.3 was not open to the public that day. He did not say, well, she said she did not say Drake's case, just the room itself was not open to the public. So anyways, they would not take my letter, so I'm going to read the letter to you that I wrote to Justice Diamond. Dear Justice Diamond, the intent of this letter is to express my dismay and disbelief about the abuse I experienced being rudely and aggressively thrown out of your courtroom, 1-3, March 27th, 2025, Drake Family Court Trial. I entered the courtroom quietly, respectfully, to not disturb as I customarily do. The commissioner signaled for me to meet him at the doors between the courtroom and the court hall. I was expecting him to inform me that the public needs to be out of the room for a particular private argument or ruling on the procedures. I did not expect the commissioner to shove me into Drake's bodyguard, who was in between the doors. The bodyguard started yelling at me and proceeded to humiliate me in front of 2 Toronto police constables. I understand the judge and commissioners in Canadian courts, while presiding over open court proceedings, have jurisdiction over the public present. They can enforce rules, jurisdiction over the public present. They can enforce rules, maintain order, and can take action against those who disrupt or disrespect the court. I did neither disrespect or disrupt or disrespect the court. I am a 63-year-old man and have respected and I have a respect and love for our Canadian open court philosophy. I abide by all court publication bans and court orders. With that in mind, I respectfully ask, did you issue a ruling to restrict all public access in this court proceedings, in open court proceedings? As a court artist with 23 years of experience in the courtroom, I have never been removed without a clear ruling or explanation from a presiding judge or justice of the peace. And never have I been physically forced out. Most of the court documents I produce are donated to the Archives of Ontario, first to Her Majesty the Queen, and now to His Majesty the King. Instead of capturing the scene of Drake's security and police barring the courtroom to the public, I believe a proper painting of this historical case would better serve Ontario. Such a painting could stand as a testament to open court principles, representing all people, regardless of wealth, and that's that.
And you could hear him. He's had 23 years of experience and has never seen something like this. He's never been removed without a clear ruling or explanation. We know that in the Drake UMG lawsuit, there were reporters all throughout the courtroom literally transcribing word for word everything that was going down during that hearing. So what the hell was different about whatever it is Drake has going on over at family court? And hey, again, this could be related to Adonis, right? We know that initially Drake and Adonis's mom were not on the best of terms. They had to figure out, how they were going to handle this whole co-parenting thing. It seems to have worked out. Over the years, they seem to be on good terms together, so I don't know why he would have to appear in family court in Toronto, close off the entire courtroom just to have a hearing about his son, but again, blocking off the courtroom in an unprecedented way without his son even physically being present there, right? Also, Adonis was born in California, and his mom lives in France. Drake is a dual citizen, both US and Canadian. Adonis was born in the US. I don't see why the whole family would have to go out to family court all the way in Toronto for an issue pertaining to a child that was born in America. Again, what the hell do I know? You can go down rabbit holes if you want online about all these different theories pertaining to mysterious children who have the last name Graham, who are somehow tied to Drake. I'm not going to dive into those details because it's just not what we do on this channel. But, we're seeing Drake's face clear as day in Toronto court. So that we're most definitely going to report on. We may never know what the hell he was actually doing there, right? Because again, the public was not allowed in that courtroom. The only dude who happened to be there is someone who's been working at the court for 20 plus years, and even he wasn't allowed in the room to see what was going on. All I know is to all the OV hoes talking about, Family Matters is about to age so well. Somehow we're about to find out about Dave Free, who still works with Kendrick Lamar to this very day. He's the father of the kid that Kendrick Lamar has been raising, or Kendrick Lamar has been a serial abuser. There was a massive incident in Las Vegas that was somehow only reported by Media Takeout, which was known to fabricate absolute lies. Or this one security guard at the Hard Rock Hotel. Again, these OVHOs, they don't care about the morality behind something like this, right? If Kendrick actually did those things, we have to have a different conversation. But to them, this is all about perception, about image, right? Their favorite artist lost a rap battle a year and a half ago because he came with work that did not hold a candle to Kendrick Lamar. You think a year and a half later, trying to prove the validity to the allegations made is going to have any impact on how the songs have aged? Meet the Grams didn't age well because Kendrick revealed the daughter or not. Meet the Grams aged well because he dropped it 30 minutes after Family Matters, an unprecedented chess move which completely distracted the public from anything Drake said in that song and completely removing the public's interest in whether or not anything Drake said in that song was valid or not. A year and a half later, if we didn't care back then, a year and a half later, do you think that's going to change the narrative of this rap battle? It might change the perception people have on Kendrick Lamar if he actually, again, did the things Drake was accusing him of, but it's not going to change the outcome of a rap battle Drake already lost a year and a half ago. And am I wrong? Am I missing something? But aside from Pusha T pulling that unprecedented move in 2018 where he revealed Drake's, at the time, hidden son, were rap battles before that ever about gossip or tea or allegations, like who has the better allegation on the other person? Or was it about who can dissect their opponent's character in a more creative way? So, yeah, I say all that to say, if Drake was showing up to family court over a hidden daughter that Kendrick told us about on Meet the Grams a year and a half ago, would that song age better? Sure. Would it change the overall outcome of the battle? No, we are a year and a half removed. It will definitely open the door for more clowning on La Brianna, but the impact of the chess move of Meet the Grams is not significant because Kendrick was talking about a mysterious hidden daughter. It was because he was penning letters to every member of Drake's family 30 minutes after Drake dropped what he thought would be the red button of this entire battle. And because it didn't end up being that red button, no amount of truths coming to light today, whether it's Drake with his hidden daughter or Kendrick with abuse allegations, is going to change the outcome of a battle a year and a half ago. I mean, even in Drake's lawsuit against UMG, he's talking about what a reasonable listener would think when hearing Not Like Us. Is it defamatory? Because would the average individual who hears that song automatically think Drake is a PDF? The same thing applies here, right? Like the battle was a year and a half ago. If the allegations that both Kendrick or Drake made throughout it a year and a half ago come out to be true today, would the reasonable average listener have a different opinion on the entire beef versus what they already thought about it? Yes, I know the songs would age better, but it's like the outcome of the beef already happened. You can't change that. But speaking of that lawsuit, we did get another update from the Canadian Cupcake. So remember how he was going after Kendrick Lamar's contracts. He wanted to see them from UMG, right? As part of the entire case, both sides, UMG and Drake's side, are sharing documents and evidence, which is a process called discovery, so that they can gather the information they need to, on UMG's side, defend themselves, and on Drake's side, build the case for why he thinks Kendrick and UMG coerced this massive plan to try and defame his name through the release and promotion of Not Like Us. So, on Drake's side, his lawyers recently got a copy of Kendrick Lamar's contract with UMG. UMG had marked it as highly confidential, aka attorney's eyes only, basically removing a lot of the key important information within the contract, because this is a huge conflict in interest, right? If Drake is able to see Kendrick's private contract and he's getting a way different deal than Kendrick, this messes up the business on both ends. So they took out a bunch of important info from Kendrick's contract, but Drake's lawyers, who feel like they need to use that contract as proof within the court, they basically asked that the contract be submitted in a private way, filed under seal, which means hidden from the public, and any sensitive parts can be blacked out. They wanted to skip the extra steps of trying to force UMG to hand it over, so they were just like to the judge, hey, like, just, you could let them black out certain elements and keep it private, but we need that contract. But what this means is that Drake's lawyers and the judge are the only people who can see Kendrick's contract. Even Drake can't see it. So one bar that will end up aging badly from the beef is pull your contracts because we gotta see the splits. Because Drake won't be seeing those splits. But one thing that will age well is the line Kendrick rapped on Euphoria, I like Drake with the melodies, I don't like Drake when he act tough. And the famous actor we once knew is looking paranoid and now spiraling because Lobries and Gentlegrams, Drake, possibly in an attempt to distract the public from this very strange family court hearing that we've now been exposed to over the last day, the same way that when this first happened, Drake immediately dropped the Nokia video. Now that that video is circulating online with the courtroom sketch artist exposing that he wasn't allowed in the room when Drake was there, on this same day, we get an announcement that Drake and Bobbi Althoff are going to be doing a part 2 to their horribly cringe, I don't even know what to call this, like, they basically had a slumber party together and talked about absolutely nothing for an hour and a half about 2 years ago. There's some interesting backstory to this whole thing, right? So Bobbi Althoff was this random like TikToker. I think she's like in her early 20s, married with 2 kids, and according to her, missed her child's first birthday in order to sit in bed with Drake and do an interview or a podcast, whatever you want to call this weird thing. I'm sure her husband couldn't have been too happy about that. And about a week or 2 after the podcast was released, Bobbi ends up blowing up because of it, but then it mysteriously gets taken down. Drake unfollows her, and it becomes pretty much unanimously declared, I don't know if that's the right word, like unanimously decided by the public that this girl was not talented in the slightest. She pretty much just used her guests to drive the personality of the podcast. It was Lil Yachty who introduced Drake to her, and she went on to interview Yachty and then kind of trashed him in an interview later on, showing that she wasn't really appreciative for any of these massive opportunities she was getting while seemingly having no talent to back it. She ended up canceling the podcast that Drake ended up being on. Like, the whole series was just canceled, but now she's re-announcing it with Drake back in bed with her.
Welcome to a much more refined, poised, and pleasant podcast.
Pleasant? I don't know about that.
I know. I
think that was just a word
I'm trying to get you brand deals.
Oh, so you want me to be more pleasant?
No, I'm just saying.
That's not what I need to do.
I was trying to pitch.
Is
welcome
that what I need to get more brand deals, be more pleasant?
Hey now. Welcome to a much more scenic, serene, and solidarity.
What are you getting at?
Welcome to a much more scenic and serene and serious. It's not going to be serious though.
Is it not? I think it is.
Welcome to a much more scenic, serene, sexy.
No, try it again. Run it back.
I liked it.
I don't like that one.
Welcome to a much more scenic, serene, equally sickening.
Okay, maybe I should just do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Welcome to the first episode of my new podcast that no one asked for.
Not this again.
Do you guys hear this? Like, Kendrick really sent this man back to his theater kid era. Like, you know, Drake was like an actor in school plays and all that stuff, and like the most enthusiastic about it. And what's with these accents, man? Like, the last song we heard from him, he's talking like this, doing a London accent. And then the song before that, he's talking all tough like this mob boss. He's on demon timing. What did I miss? These guys get punched in the face. On his Sexy Sleepy Song album, he was singing in Spanish in a Mexican accent. During his Iceman livestream in Toronto, when fans were yelling at him on the street saying that he's a loser, he was yelling threats back at them in a Toronto mob boss accent, like, "Yo, Cruddy, you wanna squabble up, Cruddy? What do you wanna do about it?" And now we have him here with this white girl, and he's talking in the most white girl accent possible. It's gonna be a very poised, demure podcast with me, La Brianna, and my friend Bobbi Althoff. Like, bro, what is this? And who is he trying to appeal to, man? Everything Drake has done since this battle, to me, reeks of, like, not even desperation, just pure trolling. Like, even including all these things in his lawsuit about trying to get any allegations of Kendrick's kids and all that stuff. Everything to me seems like one big troll. From the moment the battle ended with Wagwan Delilah, where he's doing a Hey There Delilah parody in a Toronto accent, to then BBL Drizzy, the song with Sexy Red, where he's rapping about, you know, his enhanced butt or his enhanced abs, to then Meet Your Padre with Chico Podcast, where he's doing the Spanish accent, to then becoming the Petty Petition Padre, filing lawsuits on the week that GNX releases over a battle he willingly participated in, nonetheless, and also threw out allegations in. To now, I mean, what the hell is this, right? Like, he's been, you know, on his little streamer vibe recently, which I don't get, but I understand from a business perspective why he is putting himself in those circles, right? He has a partnership with the gambling company Stake, which was co-founded by this guy named Eddie, who is also, I believe, one of the higher-ups at the streaming platform Kick. Most streamers who gamble on stream use Stake, and they stream on Kick because Kick lets anything go. So that's why Drake is hanging with all these Kick streamers like Adin Ross, XQC, etc. because they all have partnerships with Stake. They all get together on stream and they're gambling, pushing this horrible thing onto the youth, but they're getting paid to do it, right? That's why he's on Kick. That's why he's on Stake. Strategically, from a business standpoint, I get it. From a moral perspective, absolutely, I don't get it. I don't back it. I think it's horrible that he's been promoting gambling, but whatever. This Bobbi Althoff thing, I don't see the strategy behind this. Can you explain it to me? Like, is he trying to, you know, get back the love that he might have lost from his, you know, female fan base that he used to have? Is he trying to show the world, like, I can do everything, podcasting, live streams, music, whatever? If that's the case, like, you have a million better individuals that you can make much more entertaining podcasts with. His butt buddy Lil Yachty used to have his own podcast. You could do one with him. The one I turn to every single time that Drake does, you know, an interview or a stream or whatever with someone else. I always say, where the hell is Big Macus and Akademiks and all this stuff, right? You got to imagine he's fuming with everything that's been going on. Like, Akademiks has been glazing Drake for the past 10 years. It all culminated into 2023 when Drake was releasing For All the Dogs, and Akademiks finally thought he was going to get a live stream with Drake. And it actually would have been probably an okay look for Drake because Akademiks has a predominantly hip-hop platform. So if you're releasing a hip-hop album, get on a hip-hop platform the night that it's dropping, go live, and talk about the project. He hadn't done an interview at that point in years. But no, he decides instead, even though he promised Akademiks he'd give him a call that night, instead he calls Kai Cenat, whose fan base has no attachment to Drake or his music. It's a generation removed. So yeah, I understand he's trying to cater to the youth, right? Maybe that's what he's doing here with Bobbi Althoff, or trying to cater to, you know, the white girls who watch her, or I don't even know what her audience is. I thought she lost her whole audience, and that's why she had to, you know, cancel her podcast. I thought she was like Hawk Tua girl level, right? Like, you might as well go with the Hawk Tua girl. But anyways, time and time again, I just laugh because it's like, wow, like, you're doing live streams with XQC, who has never heard your music before. He didn't even know that the black and white album cover is Scorpion. He didn't know what album Headlines was on. He doesn't know anything about your music. You're doing streams with Adin Ross, who's talking about hip-hop being dead, who probably can't name you 50 rappers. You're doing skits for Streamer University with DDG and Kai Cenat, but we didn't hear you one time make a single comment when everyone was celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip-hop 2 years ago, right? And the guy who celebrates you the most, DJ Big Macus and Akademiks, you have not once ever acknowledged this guy's existence aside from texts that you send him in private, then he then relays to the world. And usually those end up becoming cap. Like, Akademiks will say, Drake told me this is not true. But then the thing in question ends up turning out to be true. So it's like Drake was lying to him. I have a whole video called like Drake's history of bullying Akademiks. So if you guys want the backstory there, you could check that out. This video is more to say like, it's just crazy to me that Drake will probably never get on another hip hop platform again. He'll never do another Elliott Wilson interview. He'll never go to Ebro or Charlemagne or Joe Budden or whoever. There's no need for him to do that, right? Like, he has his pop audience, and that's massive already. He lost a big chunk of his hip-hop base when the whole Quentin Miller thing came out. By the way, Quentin Miller documentary dropping in the next few days, so drop a comment if you're excited for that. But yeah, he lost a lot of hip-hop then, and then lost an even bigger chunk of hip-hop when he refused to respond to Pusha T during their battle, and then lost the remaining hip-hop fans he had during the whole lawsuit thing when, you know, he actually literally filed a lawsuit over a diss track. So doing sit downs like the Clips have been doing, where they discuss everything going on in their lives and everything going on within their music, doesn't align with the mission Drake is on right now, right? He's not trying to win over the people who would hold him to any sort of moral standard. Like, you know, why are you suing over a rap battle that you willingly participated in? How did it feel to lose that rap battle? Why have you been faking this mob boss persona for the last 10 years? Why are you redirecting all your subliminals now onto LeBron James and Joe Budden, who do not rap, instead of focusing on the people who actually do rap? Why have you been busier promoting gambling companies rather than promoting music? What happened to the dude who wrote the Nokia song? He gave you the hook, he gave you the beat for that track, he gave you the whole backbone of your comeback hit from the Kendrick beef. Where is he now? Why don't you, shine a little spotlight on him? Where did you hear these Dave Free and Whitney allegations that you dropped in Family Matters, right? On the Hard Part 6, you said the one that you're getting your information from, they're all clowns. But then you also said we plotted for a week and we fed you the information. So which one is it? Are the info givers clowns, or are you the one giving the info? Why did you rap on Taylor Made talk about him liking young girls when you didn't want Kendrick talking about you liking young girls? What do you say to all the rumors about you talking to young girls back in the day before Not Like Us? How does it feel to lose the biggest rap battle in the world and have a diss song against you become a national anthem? These are questions Drake will never and does not ever want to answer to the public. And why would he, right? It's not going to make him look better. And he's suing over a rap battle. So it's not like he's going to win over anybody by finally, being honest about this entire situation. He's better off doing what Kendrick does and kind of staying silent, but just communicating everything through the music. But then you get stuff like this Bobbi Althoff crap, which just becomes, I think it does more harm than good, because it's a slap in the face, not just to the people who, fans of Drake who expect him to speak on what's been going on in his life over the last few years, but fans of Drake in the media who glaze him constantly. It's a slap in the face to the Akademikses and the Malls and the OV hoes who have platforms who can greatly benefit from having Drake on them. Most of these guys, their platforms are solely based on Drake. And he brushes them off every single chance he could to instead go and collaborate with people like Bobbi Althoff for a conversation that won't even end up having any substance to it or any real humor to it. Drake is just going to act like a white chick. I don't know. Seems like the wrong move to me, but maybe it's a distraction from whatever the hell is going on at his family court hearing. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next one.